Hello, my name is Kathryn Adduci, and my wonderful accompanist here is Sharon Brooke, and we are about to play the Barat, Andante et Scherzo, the parts of the piece that are required for the California All-State Honor Band auditions. If you are planning on doing this audition, when you record, you are not going to use a piano player. However, I have the wonderful Sharon Brooke here to play for us today so that you can hear what the piano part actually sounds like, because it is very vital to your understanding of the piece of music. It adds a lot. So you do need to make sure you know what the piano sounds like for this piece. I have a few tips for playing this piece, Andante et Scherzo by Barat. The first most important thing is make sure you know exactly how you want it to sound. Make sure you have a wonderful sound of a trumpet going in your head as you're playing the piece. Make sure you know what the character is of the music that you're trying to convey to the listener. So those are the most important things that you need to remember when approaching this piece. And of course, you must use plenty of air. Get that air really moving through the instrument. The beginning. Make sure you have the rhythm, the dotted 8th, 16th note rhythm played precisely. make sure you subdivide that rhythm into 4, not into 3. So do watch out for that initial rhythm. So make sure you're thinking, or not. So make sure you are subdividing that rhythm to get it accurate. The next thing is make sure the forte, make sure you're thinking fat for the sound, not forced. You don't want to have a forced sound at the beginning here, or actually at any point during the piece. So always think fat. To do it, you really need to keep your shoulders relaxed, your upper body relaxed. You need to use a lot of air as you are playing. The next section where it goes to a piano dynamic, make sure you phrase this section here. Don't play every single note at the same level. If you do that, it won't be particularly interesting to listen to. So even though it is marked piano, you still want to do these little crescendos, decrescendos to follow the phrases through there. So I'll play you an example. So it starts off with B, C sharp, D to F sharp. Make sure you lead to that F sharp a little bit. And down again a little bit as you go to the C sharps after that. So make sure you're thinking that way through this section here to make sure that it's very interesting and that you're truly telling a story with your sound. Now the scherzo, it's supposed to be playful and light, so make sure you focus on it sounding that way. Again, using plenty of air will help you a lot with that, but not forcing that air too much. Tuning wise, do watch out for the first notes that you have. You have 2 Ds going to an A. The Ds on the trumpet, those full flame Ds tend to be a little bit flat. The A that you have up there does tend to be sharp. So you need to use a tuner to check the pitch of those notes. And if you are sharp on that upper A, if you've got a trumpet that has the first valve slide that moves, then you do need to kick it out a little bit for that A to get it in tune. If your first valve slide doesn't move, then I could tell you just to lip the note down, but actually it would be easier for you to use an alternate fingering. Go ahead and use the third valve for that A instead. But check the intonation. You don't want to be playing it flat either. So again, watch out for the pitch of the Ds going up to the A, because it obviously does happen a lot throughout this piece. Practice this whole section very slowly at first to make sure that you're playing it very accurately, that you've got all the pitches of the notes correct, and then gradually get it faster, but not faster than what you can play it accurately. You'll obviously want to work up to the marked tempo there of 88, but work there gradually. When you get to the second page, over halfway through the page, you've got the tempo più lento. It's actually the same tempo as what you had at the beginning of the scherzo. This section here, you definitely do need to double tongue it to be able to do it up to tempo evenly, unless you have a freakishly fast single tongue, which I most certainly don't myself. If this is not sounding even when you are playing it, the most likely culprit is the double tongue. So what you should be doing is practicing the Arbenz double tonguing exercises. Go back to the first one, make sure that your double tonguing is nice and even. Other tricks you can do is you can blow wind patterns on your hand to make sure your double tonguing is even. So I'll explain what that is. What you're going to do is you put your hand out in front of you. You will pretend that you are saying the articulation while you're blowing the air out here. So for me, I like to double tongue using do gu, but use whatever articulation you have been doing. So I would recommend going. So use the rhythm that's actually written in the music there to make sure you're focusing again on the movement of the air. You can practice this by playing the rhythm you have here just on one note, one pitch on the instrument. To make sure again that your double tonguing is nice and even before you go to actually playing the notes that are written. So those are a few things you can do. I also recommend you try it on the mouthpiece. making sure the pitch is accurate. It is tricky to do that, but if you can do it really well on the mouthpiece, it's going to make it so much easier on the trumpet. And that goes for most things that you play as well. Things that get to the very high range, the mouthpiece practice is not as useful, but for most other things, it really works well. It makes sure that you're truly hearing the notes in your head, and it also helps with the movement of the air, projection of the air through the instrument. Now, when you get to the final lent section, the final slow section, again, make sure you're using plenty of air. You want to keep your upper body nice and relaxed. If you're playing like this, if you look like you're struggling, etc., you're not being efficient, and it's going to affect your sound. So you want to keep all of this as relaxed as possible and take really good breaths, not a loud breath, but moving a lot of air. And just really blow through this section here. So full but not forced. And then the final fifth section, just as fast as you can do it accurately. No point in doing it faster than what you can play it accurately, because obviously it will sound messy then and it won't show off everything that you can do. So overall, make sure you have a story to tell when you're playing this piece. Make sure you know what the character of the piece is. Make sure you are moving plenty of air when you are playing it. And make sure you have fun when you are doing it. When you're recording it, or if you go through the live audition, make sure you are enjoying yourself. Imagine the judges or the adjudicators listening to you playing. Imagine them sitting up in their chairs and going, wow, this person really has something to say with the trumpet. We must have them come play with us. If you have any other questions about this piece, or about trumpet playing in general, or if you want to have some information about being a music major at San Jose State University, please do contact me either by phone or by my email address. These can be found on our website. Good luck.